They call me Dad. They call me Dad. Don't leave me Dad. But because of where I am, I'm in too deep to come out now. I've got too much invested to just lay down and walk away. I'm in too deep to just roll over and let you have. I've already fought too much to get here and let this kill me now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I know a lot of people out there probably feel similar to that. A lot of bags being held, a lot of wrong decisions. A lot of wrong decisions turning right because no one really knows what decision is wrong or right. It's very hard to tell what cryptocurrency is really going to be here 5 years from now. If we actually knew, we would all just pile into the one. And just a little bit different video. Go ahead and touch on the mindset because it's funny. At the beginning of this year, I had a lifelong dream, become a millionaire by the end of my 30th birthday. I said that when I was 5 years old. And I've always believed in that. And it was funny because earlier this year, I had maybe $1,000 in my pocket. And if you had asked me then, I would have had this exact same confidence. And actually, jokingly, my mom, because I always said I'd have kids when I got my $1 million. That's when I'd have kids, right? I want to not have money and have kids. And my mom said something about maybe I want to put some semen on, freeze some of my semen as a joke, right? Just like because I had my goal at 30 and here I was, and there was no way I was going to get there. Some people thought, but that's the thing. It's just about consistency. Even if your consistency is on a low level, like I consider my show pretty low level. I get on, I talk my mind, and that's what I'm consistently happy with doing, right? I can do that consistently. And the better you can do something consistently, the higher quality you can do, A, it's going to add stress and pressure, but B, it's also going to bring glory, right? If you can really be consistent at a high level for long bouts of time, know when to pump the brakes, not robots. It's much easier. But I was always honest with myself, and I knew that my strengths were in other areas, and I always try to set the bar lower than normal when it comes to what you're going to do consistently. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to lose 100 pounds. And then they go run a marathon. It's like, well, I'm never doing that again. You gotta set the bar low, right? Run a lap. So I'm going to run a lap every single day. I'm going to do 20 push-ups 3 times a week, do, 40 push-ups 2 times a week, and do, body squats, 50 a week. I'm just going to make sure that's checked off each week. And then eventually what's going to happen is that's going to become easy. And then you're going to be like, well, I got to do 100 because this is stupid. And then you build a frame brick by brick, but a lot of people want to overextend themselves. And I'm just getting into the mindset because once I hit my goal, right? So once I hit my childhood dream, and it's funny because I've been through this, I've had a very fucking tough life. I've had points where I had to sleep with, guns under my pillow because I didn't know what was going to happen. Situations I couldn't get out of, even if I wanted to. I've had my life on the line many, many times in situations that I was at the wrong spot at the wrong time, just being unlucky. I know a lot of people have a lot harder life, but what I'm saying, it doesn't matter. Even if you had a traumatic event, like yesterday was my dad died yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but 8 years ago. That was the date he died. December 4th. He died in 2010. So a lot of people, that's the thing. Like you can't hide from life. Like if you love, you're gonna feel pain. The only way never feel pain is not feel love. And even then, you're gonna bump your head. So it's very easy to wake up. And what I do is I have a process. So I'll wake up. It doesn't matter how much money you have, where you are in life. You're gonna wake up sometimes, and you're gonna have it's kind of like you're a boat and you're in these deep ass fucking waters. And you're so traumatized that when you get to shallow water, you don't even want to get out the boat because you're just still afraid. It's the ripples. So when something dramatic in your life happens, you got to think of it like a rock in a pond. Boom, there's a big splash. That's the event. Then you're going to have these ripples that ripple throughout your life. And you're going to wake up and you're going to feel these ripples. And if you don't check it right then, it's kind of like having a low hum that's going to affect the rest of your day. It compounds. A lot of people never check it. And before you know it, you just had this consistency built for having a little bit of stress in your life. And what happens with a little bit of stress? You get used to it. You can handle more stress. Before you know it, you're handling a lot more. You become really good at handling stress, but by proxy, you're handling a lot of stress, and that's not healthy. So what I do is I always wake up and I'll breathe 10 times. Anytime I'm feeling that, and this will become natural. Once you do it enough, you won't even think about it. So I'll wake up, I have my 10 breaths out, and I'll concentrate on them. Hold for, 5-6 seconds in each breath. 10 takes fucking no time at all. So what we do, we have something in the middle of our head. It's a long ass word, but it's this little thing. It's from when we were cave people. And if a bush rattled, we'd get all crazy and ready to attack, right? That's what kept us alive. However, we don't need that in this day and age, right? We're not worried about somebody coming out of the bushes, some giant dinosaur. However, it goes out of whack because there's so much going on. There's so much movement, so much crazy stuff going on. It still needs a use. It still wants a use. So it's going to just kind of pop off at random times. Like, hey, you need me? Alarm? Right? It's like, no, this is a false alarm. No, there's no crazy event happening. How you shut that thing off is when you hold your breath. Right? When you inhale, concentrating on your breath, that's all meditation is. When you hold your breath, that's telling your body, hey, because nothing's going to set that crazy alarm off in your head quicker than you not getting oxygen. That's what sets it off immediately. It's like red flag, like, oh my God, everything's bad. We're going to die. It's oxygen. But then once you control it and your body consciously is like, okay, subconsciously like, okay, we're doing this. We're controlling this. And then that alarm just kind of dies off. Because, your body realizes this is something you're actually handling. You're doing this. That's one way to get that off. So I'll do that. That gets that low hum away. The very next thing is you got to be thankful. Thankful for everything. It doesn't matter where you are. Even if it's thankful for just opening your eyes and being able to see and maybe having some food in the fridge and an opportunity to build, right? If you're able to listen to YouTube, then you have access to the internet, which is a good start. A lot more than a lot of people have. And just that's the mindset. That's just a little thing I go, because once you're thankful, then it's kind of hard to, it's like, yeah, I lost my dad, but I'm very thankful that I was able to have a dad. I was thankful for all the moments I had, because the moment you become sad, it turns into a more of a stingy kind of mindset. Like, oh, I should always have a dad. I earned a dad. It's like, no, you didn't earn a dad. You were born. You didn't ask for this life. It's all a gift. Everything, every blessing and curse that's happened to you, right? We never really asked for it. Just happened. And, you got to be thankful for that. When you lose a loved one, you got to be thankful that you actually had a loved one and you grew from that experience. I've learned so much from my dad. If my dad was to have never existed, I would have missed a big part of my life that made me who I am. So you just got to look at, you got to be an alchemist in life and realize that there really ultimately isn't any bad, because worst case scenario, you're dead. You won't know you're dead, right? You're gone. And if the cool thing is you can live on through what you teach and people that loved you, and, that little bit of teaching can rumble throughout life forever, right? Little butterfly effect. So just want to touch on that, because I actually been a little bit stressed this week, and, I had to wake up with my breathing technique, my thankfulness, then going for a little walk, exercise. That gets rid of that hum. You don't want to come into life with that hum, especially in crypto, man. There's nothing more stressful than crypto if you're not ready for it. People who are, losing money, or even if they're gaining money, you don't understand the highs and the lows. You got to stay in the middle, that hum, because what comes up goes down no matter what. I realized that, man, when I made all that money in the span of 4 or 5 months, I realized thankful right here the whole time, because no matter what, even if nothing bad happens in your life, your mindset comes up and comes down. You're going to have up days and you're going to have down days. It's how it is. I've never spoken to anyone in my life who's never had down days and up days. Like some days you wake up and you feel like you're on top of the world. I think both are equally as bad if you polarize yourself. If you're like, oh man, I'm so happy. Yeah. No, yeah, I focus that energy like a, right in the center. And I stay right here at all times. I'm the exact same person I was when I, eating tuna cans earlier this year, even 5 years ago. It doesn't matter. The exact same right here. I learned that a long time ago, and I learned that through pain. I learned that through suffering, through, there was a 4-year stint of my life that was absolute hell. And I had to wake up every day in meditation, and I had to stay in meditation. And I learned that basically on my own because it was more of like a fight or flight, like thrown into the water, learn to swim type of deal. I would have absolutely lost my mind if I didn't learn to do those techniques. And now I'm able to teach those and carry them on because I've noticed that people who do this, it really does help. And so getting into the market, Bitcoin, $11,800. Holy shit. Just keeps going up. One of the things that I am getting from my inside guys is they are believing that the price of Bitcoin is getting bought up by all of these Wall Street guys who are going to short Bitcoin when it comes out. So like I said, I'm not too worried about that because ups and downs, whatever, it kind of sucks with the whole USD Tether thing because I really don't trust my money in Tether anymore. So it has become difficult to try to, play the Bitcoin lure game. But as a long-term holder, and I'm not really too worried about it because even if that was the case, them pumping it up to this price, it's world. Once it broke 10K, it became a thing. Every single one of my friends hit me up after that. It was like the water gates broke. Everyone's like $10,000. Holy shit. Now it's legit. I don't know what it is with the psyche, but I swear that was a big milestone for us. And just crypto as a whole. So the market cap at 353 billion is just, 355, just gained another couple billion like it was nothing. Bitcoin's already almost Bitcoin's heading to 12,000. I'm thinking we'd see, maybe even 13.5 before. It makes sense, right? Because there's all this money coming out of nowhere into the cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin just keeps on going parabolic. If there's a futures market, it would be very easy to have the price. And that's another thing though. Who's going to it's going to be tough to long Bitcoin when someone's going to short it when it's at its like peak all time high, because then people are going to be expecting a correction. So in a way, it's not like they're going to be able to win a lot of money because it's going to be kind of obvious. It's like, well, if Bitcoin, what would you think if Bitcoin just hit $15,000 right now? Would you bet against it going to 16 or 14? It's kind of like, it's tough, right? Because anytime Bitcoin, and especially with this one has just been unprecedented. Like, there's usually retractions. If we see, there's usually a little dip, and now we're just absolutely. So if we did get up to about 15, I wouldn't, it'd probably be a dip. So there's, wow. Are you seeing this? I refreshed twice and Bitcoin has we can basically count it at 12,000 right now. Ethereum's at 461. IOTA's at $3.40. Wow. Like I said, I wanted to buy at 70 cents. And I actually have lures set for it. If it comes back down, it comes back down. If it doesn't, holla at you, IOTA. Then, because I always reassess, right? Because if it just keeps going up and up and up and up, I'm going to wait for it. Now, I'd rather miss out on the opportunity to buy it now for 330 and then it go to 5 and then it crash to like 4 and I have to get it at 4, than to try to buy it right now at 250 and then it dipped to 250 and I miss out. Like if I did, like let's say I bought right now and then it dipped to 250. Well, I'm thinking it is going to correct. I hate using the word correct because I just think everything's so undervalued right now. It's just the law of it's how humans work. It's, what comes up, comes down. When people are in the green, they're going to slam the price down because they can. Everything would just go to the moon if people didn't want to, AKA take profits. So I don't mind paying a little bit more on IOTA if I have a gut feeling and just from all the information I can get that I think it might go back down to something. But if it doesn't, I'll happily buy it at 4. Litecoin's secretly over $100. No one's really talking about it because Bitcoin's just absolutely going parabolic. No one's really talking about Monero. Holy shit, it just keeps going up. I was talking to my friend the other day about this, and I was like, what is up with Monero? doesn't stop. It's like up $10 here, up $20 here, and then before you know it, just Batman and head out, you know, just absolutely going crazy with the Batman heads. That is nuts right there. $80, what, about a month ago, and then just decided to never slow down. A lot of these coins, what I said is time. Time meets value. I mean, you give these top projects a lot of time, and before you know it, you're going to have blast-offs. NEO was up to 42, and EOS was well over 4, but those went down just a little bit. Let me see. Oh, yeah. So another thing is, what I really like about staking coins, like, for instance, I really love having a lot of no-limit coin. The reason is the more no-limit coin I have, the more interest I get. So it's, where other people might, when no-limit coin takes a dip, might quote-unquote be taking a loss, I'd never sell for a loss anyway, so I'm just saying the mindset. I'm staking and making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of no-limit coin each week from staking. So, you know, it's like I'm always in the green no matter what, because I'm just constantly making constant, you know, when you have as many coin as I do, you're just constantly, you're just sitting back making a killing. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, I can be more patient because I put myself in a situation where I can be patient, but it doesn't matter where you start. You got to look at your bankroll. And if you have a coin, that's why I really believe in, if you're going to have nest eggs and you're starting at a low dollar level, it's really good to have nest eggs at stake, because worst case scenario, you're going to be gaining coins if you're wrong, because it's really easy to be fucking wrong in this game. Or not wrong, it's really easy to pick something that goes bearish for a month or two, and you have to sit back and watch something like Bitcoin go up. You can't guess it, right? And then Bitcoin could crash. Like, look at what happened in July. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. And it's very easy to stress the fuck out of yourself. I have so many friends. I had a friend who sold his Bitcoin. I think it was for, what was it? It was one of these top coins that didn't do too good. I think it was, what was it? I'll have to go back and see, but yeah, basically his coin went down and no limit coin went, or Bitcoin went up, and he was just basically like, man, you know, like, I'm so stressed. And that's the thing. And I could already tell if he had put his money in Bitcoin, he would be so happy. And I was like, man, you're just like setting yourself up for emotional torture. It's not even worth it. Money's just an illusion. You're going to make your $1 million, guys, and you're going to realize what it's all about. Like, it's not the money that you're chasing. It's a mindset you're chasing, because you're not happy where you are. You want something to change where you are, and you thinking having the money is going to change everything, but it really doesn't, because at the end of the day, when you're in your penthouse in the sky and you have all your bills paid and you have all, you can help all your family, at the end of the day, you still have to live with yourself. It's still going to be you sleeping with you inside your head and your mind at all times. So you have to get right with that character. And if you can't stand being with that person when you're down and quote unquote low on money, that's a problem, because it's not the money you're chasing. You're trying to get away from yourself, your life, who you are. You don't like who you are because you didn't set principles. You didn't set standards. You don't have consistency every day. You don't have something to wake up for. You're not fighting. It's very easy to get content as a human because we don't have predator animals attacking us like we used to. You couldn't be a caveman and be depressed. There were no depressed cavemen. Cavemen didn't have time to be depressed. They had to survive, right? Because they were always, what's going around the next corner. They didn't have time to sit there and contemplate life. They were always people of action. That's what humans are. We're people of action, but we've conquered. And now here we are with no predator animals to make us move. And you can just be a gazelle with a king's crown, telling lions what to do, because everything has become out of whack. And the mindset is just, it's absolutely disgusting sometimes that I see as a collective. There's a lot of strong pillars out there. For every strong pillar creates a giant whirlpool around it where people get sucked in and absorbed, and it really creates a foundation. But the mindset is toxic. There's a lot of infighting. There's a lot of people, threats of violence, all kinds of crazy shit going on. It could all be avoided with the proper mindset if people just realized, just did a little bit of mental work and realize where the hate is. Are you really hating these people? Are you really just finding a cause to put energy in to feel like you belong to something? Those are tough questions to ask. And I'm making little notes, right? I'm trying to if I think of something during the day, so I have, you know, little pointers just in case I forgot. But I brought this up yesterday, and there's two kinds of people on these dips. There's people who have run out of ammo and want the price to rise. So anytime I see a coin that's down, and I'll be in a Slack room and people are like, oh my God, please, I want the price to go up. I always know, like, man, that sucks. I've been there, man. I've been there. I've been there when I ran out of ammo, and I'm like, man, okay, I don't want the price to go down anymore, guys. I've already shot, I've shot my bullets out of lures. And I've been there, and I've also been to the point where I have a lot of ammo, and I'm like so happy the price is going down. Like, please just go down a little bit more. And you have these two different polarizing sides, and it's just cute and funny to watch because it's kind of like you're cheering on your team. But go up, please. I have no more money to buy you on dips. And then the exact opposite. So that was pretty funny. Might make a meme out of that. A meme. And last, I'm going to end it. I'm going to kill it here on this. But I like to treat my life like a game. And I better fucking enjoy the game. Even if I'm sitting here studying, I want to always be positive. I always want to be happy. I want to come from a place of enjoyment. I want to enjoy like that dog in the firehouse where he's like, everything's okay. Everything is okay. Like when you really, really think about it, if you were a video game and you could feel your feelings and you or somebody else could, playing you, would you enjoy it? Would you bring misery to that person? That's a very deep thing to really think about. Like, if I was a video game and I was being played, I wouldn't fucking want to be a boring, stupid game. And it's all in the mindset. Like, meditation could be cool. You could sit in a corner in darkness for 5 hours and have a much better time than somebody, on a roller coaster or fucking in a theme park. Like, it's just all the mindset. It starts with the mindset. Work in, then out. Don't worry about, a lot of people think, okay, well, I'm going to make my life first. What do these people think? That's working outward in. That's not, you don't work outward then in. You work in, then out. You say, hey, this is what I like. This is what I'm consistent with. And then you work outward. And then guess what? You're going to get people who like you for you. That's where I talk about consistency. A lot of people want to go out there and they want to do something where they think this is what people are going to like, so this is what I'm going to do. But that's going to lead to you doing something that you don't really want to do. And if you're talking about consistency, you're only as good as your last bit. That's a curse and a blessing, right? Because I don't give a fuck. I could get up and my morning show could fucking suck today. I don't care because I have tomorrow and I have the next day. And the cool thing about being knocked down is when you're knocked down and then you have a good one, they're like, man, he recovered awesome. He sucked the other day, but man, he fucking knocked it out of the park on this one. Did you see that recovery? You always get a boost. You always get a bonus. You always get a blessing when you're down and then you come up, because when people see you down and then you come up, you always get rewarded. And if you were just always up, isn't that the case? If you're always up, you don't get much props when you go up a little higher. But if you fucking get knocked down and then you get back up, people write stories about you. Ladies sing songs about you. They write folklores about you. So that's a beautiful thing, being able to be down, because it's like crouching. It's like jumping. You get down and then you can jump higher. It's kind of hard to jump when you're already in the air. So just what comes up comes down. Realize that you want to stay in the middle so you don't have to endure those emotional swings, because it's going to go like this. That's life. The sun, everything, the universe, everything's this. Whirlpools, water, wind, it's this, right? And you can have the point to stay right here. You don't have to be in all that. You really don't. So I'm going to kill it there. Cheers. Peace.